Hey y'all, I'm Jen and this is Sassy Southern Nancy Girl, and I'm here to share my May design team project for Creating with Jovi. And this month I used her kit, Americana. I thought it was very fitting since Memorial Day was this month, and I love anything Americana patriotic. And I just fell in love with this kit when I saw it, and I want to share with you guys what I did. So I followed a tutorial on YouTube to make this book, and I will put the link to it down below. Obviously I'm not showing the process for the book because somebody else did the tutorial and I didn't feel like I wanted to redo it again. And it took me several days to complete the book, so I just wanted to be able to just do it and not have to worry about filming. I did use the entire kit, and a couple of elements I used more than once. So let's get into this. This is what I used for the cover, and I used one of her full sheets and I just cut it. So I put that on the front and then the other half of it on the back. I love the green. On the side here I used book cloth that I got off of Amazon, and I just cut that and put it on. And then for on the inside I put this really pretty lace that I got off of Temu, and I did put it on the front and on the back on the inside, and I absolutely love how that looks. Alright, so let's get into the journal. Alright, so this is basically a flip book, and so there's all kinds of different flips, out and up and down. So the first page flips out, and I chose this paper from the kit for this first page. I created a little tab in here. The only other thing I used besides her kit is I used trim, and I did use some solid cardstock. So you're going to see some solid, and then also this plaid cardstock. Everything else is going to be Jovi's kit, with the exception of a few little embellishments here and there. But pretty much everything is just her kit, and it ended up working perfectly. I made this little pocket out of a corner of this plaid cardstock, and then this was one of the pieces of ephemera in her kit. I backed it on cardstock and then inked around the edges for like a little journaling spot, and that can just tuck in there. This was also part of her kit. I just fussy cut it and glued it to the tab. And I tried not to cover, I tried to cover as little of the actual art as possible because I just think it's gorgeous and it really deserves to be seen. And so, yeah, I kept as much of it showing as possible. Okay, and so this flips out, and we have this background piece here. I fussy cut this pie and glued, I did glue pretty much all of the ephemera onto cardstock, and then glued it down just to give it extra stability. I glued this half down. This I actually created, created a couple of journaling cards, so you will see a few journaling cards. I did use her ephemera, but I needed more journaling cards, or I wanted more. I didn't need them. So I just used some of that plaid paper. I either used plaid paper or solid paper. So the Fabulous is part of the kit, and the dice, and I just glue those on there, and then you can journal on the back, and that goes right up in there. And I wanted to make sure you could still see, like I said, the gorgeous background. Okay, and now on this side flips out. This is a family tree that was in there. I just kind of, I did cut a little bit of it off, but it was like a half page anyway. This is what the full sheet looks like. So you can see I did cut off some of it. But, you know, I left that blank like that in case people wanted to actually put pictures in there. And so I did leave that blank. And then when you open this up, it flips up out to a full page here. And then I added another piece of the kit over here, which we'll get to in a minute. Okay, so for this page, again, I love the background, so I tried to not cover as much as possible. I used some trim, some glitter trim here to make little tucks. And then these are pieces of ephemera and journaling cards from the kit. I backed them on cardstock, pink cardstock, and inked them. And so these are journaling pieces. And then this is also a journaling card from the kit, or a journaling element. I backed it on some blue cardstock, and then I took this piece of ephemera, backed it on some glittery cardstock, and put it in here as like a pull. And then on this pull out, this is another piece of her paper from the kit. I took another piece of that cardstock and made a belly band. I glued the word inspire from the kit. This is a journaling piece from the kit. I backed it on cream cardstock and inked it, and so you have another journaling spot there. Okay, and then on the back side here, this is a double flip up page. So I decorated, so this I fussy cut and glued it on there, and then I glued a piece of pom-pom trim, mini pom-pom trim down there just for a decorative look. There's nothing on here that's functional. I just wanted that to be, you know, pretty, or, you know, look good. On this side, I did the exact same thing. As far as the background and the trim. This was a photo in the kit. I backed it on blue cardstock and made it into a tuck spot. And then here is a journaling piece from the kit that I backed on paper and inked for a journaling spot. Alright, and on the inside here, let me see if I can get, I have my camera up as high as it'll go, so it's going to be kind of hard to, alright, so this is just opens up like this. This is from Jovi's kit. I added some washi to the sides because it didn't go long enough on the cardstock that I used. This is a piece of ephemera from the kit. I backed it on cardstock and glued the top half of it. And I made another journaling card with that plaid cardstock. This is from the kit, and this is from the kit. I just glued it on there. That says memories. And then you can journal on the back of that card. And then this side is just decorative. Okay, and then for the flip parts, I used paper from Jovi's kit on this side. I made a tuck spot here with cream cardstock. This is a piece from the kit I glued on top, and then this is a piece of an element from the kit that I backed onto cardstock, and that's a journaling spot there. And then on this side, I used, some navy blue plaid paper. I used a piece of that red plaid paper to make a corner pocket or corner tuck. This is an element from a piece of paper that I fussy cut and put up here, and then here's some more of that washi. This is one of the cards from the kit. I backed it on blue paper. I put a brad in there, not a brad, a eyelet in there. I put this trim in there, and then I put this button. I cut the shank off the button and put the firework on there. And this is another journaling card. Okay, and then when you flip that over, I fussy cut the side of this paper here And then this is a piece of ephemera from the kit that I put on cardstock and made it into a little tuck spot. This is another piece of another journaling card I created with some of her ephemera that I just glued on there. And then you can journal on the back of that. And I did punch a pattern into that to give it a decorative look. The next pages are cardstock from my stash, and then I just decorated it with elements from Jovi's kit. Okay, so this was a photo in her kit. I made it into a pocket. This word baseball was part of it. I backed that on cardstock and glued that there. I glued this word from her kit on top of a piece of torn cardstock, and then I just layered this ephemera. So this is basically just a baseball page. This was a tag from her kit that I backed on red paper for a journaling spot, and I added some of that mini pom-pom trim to the top so that it could go in there. The next page, this was a piece of paper that I had cut in half, and I backed it on cardstock and made a pocket out of it. And then this is from the kit, backed it on some gray cardstock for a journaling spot. This tag is also in the kit. I put an eyelet on there with some brown polka dot trim, and this little sparkly flat back sticker just for decoration, and that's another journaling spot there. And then on this side, I just created a little tuck area. This is also from her kit. I fussy cut it out, and then so it looks like magazine letters cut out. This tag is from the kit. I put an eyelet in there and backed it on cardstock to make it more sturdy. So that is another journaling spot. And I did leave some space open in case, you know, people want to put pictures or, you know, whatever, whoever gets the journal. And then on this page, I took some words that I fussy cut from this page here. There were words at the top and the bottom that I cut out and used them in other places after I fussy cut this out, which I think you'll see that whole page. Well, actually, I think I fussy cut the words on that as well. But anyway, I made that into a tuck. And then I took these two pieces and made them into tags. And then I put this large eyelet here. It says Imagine. And those are just journaling spots. And then on this page, I didn't want to cover too much of this up because I love it. This baseball diamond is, or you know, whatever, is part of the page. But I did fussy cut this baseball and backed it on cardstock to make it a tuck spot. This is a car element that I turned into a journaling card and just tucked it right in there. Okay, and then next is this page that comes down like that. And so for this, I had this bow in my stash and this red butterfly, so I glued the butterfly on top, and you can use that as a clip. And I put this piece of trim here and just let it hang off the page, and the butterfly clip is just attached there, and you can put that wherever. I pretty much left this page alone because, again, I love the background. I took this Tootsie Roll that was in the kit and glued it onto a piece of cardstock and made a tuck there. And then this roll of America stamp is also part of the kit, and I made that into a tuck. I used this ephemera to create a journaling card on a piece of cream cardstock. And then this car was an element in the kit, and I backed it on cardstock and made another journaling card. This flip is another beautiful page in Jovi's kit. This piece came off of this image page here, just like that piece. There was one at the top and one at the bottom. I made another belly band with that. And then here are two, this journaling card was a tag in the kit. I backed it on red cardstock. I put a red eyelet with some red trim and this cute little white bow I glued on top there. And then I created this out of the plaid cardstock, and then I glued the little fan and the Stay Cool on there to create a journaling card. And then on the back here, this fold out is this page of the Washington family. This is a piece of ephemera from the kit that I backed on cardstock and made a tuck. And this Martin Luther King ephemera, I did the same and just made it into a tuck. I created this journaling card and used Jovi's ephemera. And then this was a card that was part of the kit that I just backed on cardstock, and that's a journaling spot on that side. Okay, here we have a page that folds down and then one that folds out, and this is the end of the book. So I'm going to start with the flips. Again, this is a piece of two pieces of paper out of the kit, and I did reuse both of these because I just love the red, white, and blue. I took this little element here and made it into a tuck, and then I created a pocket here with some glittery cardstock and put her word dream there. This is a piece of ephemera from the kit that I backed on cardstock to make a journaling card, and then I created this one with her clip art, and that just tucks right there. Okay, this folds down, and I just used some more of that plaid blue and white cardstock. I created a little faux notebook here where that whoever can write, and then this is just more cutouts from the kit, some candy, and the word create, and I just backed it on a piece of cardstock. That's not a tuck or anything, that's just decoration. And then down here is that page again with the family, but I only cut off the top and bottom. I put a piece of cardstock here and put the word family to make a pocket. And then this is from the kit, another journaling card. And that just tucks right down in there. And then this is the last page. These are the pages that you see on the front and the back of the journal. I just wanted you to be able to see it together, so I created it into a flip. So that's what they look like together. I created another pocket here with more ephemera from Jovi's kit. And then these are elements from the kit that I turned into journaling cards. So I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it is spectacular. There's so many things you could do with this kit. I just love it. And this will be in my Ko-Fi shop, which will be linked below if you love it and want to make it yours. I may at some point put it in my Etsy shop, but the fees for Etsy are just so high that I prefer to sell it out of my Ko-Fi shop. So if you're interested in this, it will, I haven't added it on here, but it will have my sticker in here somewhere. I'll probably put it in here actually, like down there. It'll just be small, so that it'll just be this little sticker here showing that it was created by me at Sassy Southern NC Girl. It'll just be down here at the bottom, and I will put the year on it, which is May 2025, and so you'll know where it came from. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you again to Jovi for allowing me to be on your design team. I love being part of your team. I love using your beautiful kits to create something beautiful. And I did start on Jovi's design team in February, and I have not shown a completed project for February, March, or April. So I will be sharing those completed projects next month, as well as my completed project for June. That will be coming up. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you would like to purchase Americana, and make something with it. I will leave the link to that below, as well as all of Jovi's links, so that you can find her and know where to go to get all these beautiful kits that you see me working with. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Keep it sassy. Bye y'all.